Yeah, let's go. Alright, okay. Alright, okay. Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up. First shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Glad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music. I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT. It's hustling, chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back question. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country.
Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Nah, can I kick it? Thank you, yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me, go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on shark week. Raw, time to go off, gone, deuces goodbye. I got a world to see, and my girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer, nah, I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people. Now, sing this song and it goes like, raise those hands, this is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. Learn from that failure, gain humility, and then we keep marching.
And we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. We go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
So we put our hands up. So we put our hands up.
Let's go. And all my people say, that's right. Feels good. And all my people say, talk to 'em, Ray. And all my people say,
Then we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. We go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
somebody call 911. Shawty fire burning on the dance floor. Whoa. What a quad. Kingston, let's go, hey. Red one, hey, hey. Shawty got that super thing, hotter than the sun in the south of Spain. Got me soon as I walk through the door. Oh, my pocket started tickling, the way she drop it low that thing. Got me wanna spend my money on her. She get it poppin', lock it, droppin' that birthday cake. Got a candle, need to blow that crazy flame away. I take my Shawty is cool like the fire, cool like fire. Somebody call 911. Shawty fire burning on the dance floor. Whoa, I gotta cool her down. She won't bring the room to ground on the dance floor. Whoa, she's fire burning on the dance floor. That little shorty's fire burning on the dance floor. She's fire burning on the dance floor. That little shorty's fire burning on the dance floor. That body is a masterpiece. The order is one in every 100 years. But ain't no doubt I'm taking it home. Oh, I'm afraid we'll go in lanes. Little mama game is about to change. She'll be on covers over the world. She get it poppin', lock and drop it, that birthday cake. Got a candle, need to blow that crazy flame away. I take my red, black card and my jewelry. Shawty is cool like the fire, cool like fire. Somebody call 911. Shawty fire burning on the dance floor. Whoa, I gotta cool her down. She won't bring the room to ground on the dance floor. Whoa, she's fire burning on the dance floor. That little shorty's fire burning on the dance floor. She's fire burning on the dance floor. That little shorty's fire burning on the dance floor. She got that fire in the dance now, make them fellas run around. Hey, no exit on the dance floor, so the boys want more. Hey, she got that fire in the dance now, make them fellas run around. My day, get in my way, everybody, see that. Hey, no exit on the dance floor, so the boys want more. What am I? Let's go, my damn. Let's go. She get it poppin', lock and drop it, that birthday cake. Got a candle, need to blow that crazy flame away. Now take my red, black card and my jewelry. Shawty is cool like the fire, cool like fire. Somebody call 911. Shawty fire burning on the dance floor. Whoa, I gotta cool her down. She won't bring the room to ground on the dance floor. Whoa, she's fire burning on the dance floor. That little shorty's fire burning on the dance floor. She's fire burning on the dance floor. That little shorty's fire burning on the dance floor. Somebody call 911. Party rock! Yeah. Woo! Let's go. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. Yeah. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Woo! Everybody just have a good time. Clap. Party rock is in the house tonight. Oh. Everybody just have a good time. I can feel this. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Yeah. We just wanna see you
Shake that.
In the club, party rock. Looking for your girl, she on my jock, huh? Now stop when we in the spot. Booty moving weight like she on the block. With a drink, I got to know. Top jeans tattoo, cause I'm rock. Half black, half white, diamond now. Gang of money, open up.
Yo, I'm running through these halls like Drano. I got that devilish flow, rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's the crew that I'm repping on a rise to the top. No lead in our Zeppelin. Hey,
Party rock is in the house tonight. Woo!
a good time. Yeah. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Let's go. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. Feel it, man. And we gon' make you lose your mind. We just wanna see you
shake that.
Every day I'm shuffling. Shuffling. Step up fast and be the first girl to make me throw this cash. We get mine, don't be mad. Now stop. Hating is bad. One more shot for us, another round. Please fill up my cup, don't mess around. We just wanna see you shaking now. Now you home with me. You're naked now.
Get up, get down, put your hands up to the sun. Get up, get down, put your hands up to the sun. Get up, get down, put your hands up to the sun. Put your hands up to the sun. Put your hands up to the sun. Get up, 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 get up. Put your hands up to the sun, to the sun. Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Put your hands up. I can feel it, babe. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Shake that.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Put your
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Enactus Canada National Exposition. We are gathered today at the Calgary TELUS Convention Centre on Blackfoot territory. These ancestral Treaty 7 lands of the Blackfoot Confederacy consist of the Siksika Nation, Piikani Nation, and the Gummi Nation. Also acknowledge the connection of the Elithka Stony Nakota Nation consisting of the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney bands. The people of the Tsuut'ina and Métis government of the Métis Nation within Alberta District 6. These lands and connections make up an entire ecosystem, which they share with all of us as newcomers. By respecting these lands where we work and live, we continue to encourage meaningful relationships like those that have been unfolding for thousands of years. It is our responsibility to be present, aware, and reflect every day as we continue our journey towards truth and reconciliation, all our relations. Please now welcome to the stage Enactus Executive Director of UK and Ireland, Amy Brereton.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I am very, very excited to be here with you all today, and with what a privileged role to be able to announce the 2025 Enactus Canada finalists. Now, before I do, I'm going to be honest. I had my nationals about 4 weeks ago, and I'm not quite sure whether the UK and Ireland or Canada had more energy. So I don't know whether you can help prove me wrong here. Do you think the UK has more energy or Canada? I think a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, I think you proved me. I think you proved me. I think you've definitely proved them right. What I might do at Nationals next year is show them this video so they know what energy looks like in the room as well. So amazing. Thank you so much. So, congratulations to all the semi-finalists and every team that has competed this week. You have demonstrated incredible commitment, worked hard, and made meaningful impact in your community and across the globe, something you should be all incredibly proud of. Now, let's dive in and reveal the 4 teams advancing to the final round of competition, proudly hosted by Canadian Tire Corporation. These teams are one step closer to claiming the national title. Now, just as a reminder, one team from each of the 4 semi-final round leagues will move forward to the final round. If we announce your school as a finalist, please head straight to the stage. Then one faculty representative and one student will go backstage with our team and receive instructions for selecting your time slots. Shall we get started? Okay, Maddie is with us now, so let's begin with League A. Thank you very much. Okay, let's have a look. So, the Enactus team moving on to the final round of competition from League A is University of British Columbia, Vancouver. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so the team advancing to the final round from League B is, let's see, University of Ottawa. Okay, 2 down, 2 to go. So let's get on with League C. So, we have a look. It's very hard to open. It's very hard to open. Okay. The Enactus team moving on to the final round of competition from League C is St. Mary's University. It's like the Calgary Stampede's in here, isn't it, honestly? Okay, so let's get on to the final result for now. So, the team advancing from League D to the final round of competition is Wilfrid Laurier University. Okay, so we have our final round of competition. Congratulations once again to every single person. Congratulations, everybody. Okay, it is my absolute pleasure now to welcome Eric McPhee, Program Manager at Enactus Canada, to the stage. See you later.
Helps if I have the script in my hand. Welcome, everybody. So at Enactus, we create impact not only through the people and businesses we launch, but also by the way we bring people together, share our stories, and capture inspiring moments that spark action. We're about to present 4 awards that recognize teams for strengthening their communities, building their brands, and telling their stories with purpose. Although we'll present the awards after the ceremony, we want to celebrate your achievements with everyone now. So please find your program manager after the awards ceremony to collect your awards. First, we're recognizing the team that went above and beyond to engage students across disciplines and institutions while meaningfully connecting with the wider Enactus network. This team united students from fields like data analytics, regulatory affairs, and biotechnology to build deep expertise into their projects. They also brought together 4 local Enactus teams for a collaborative thought, leadership, and knowledge-sharing event. This recipient of this year's Student Engagement Award is Northeastern University. Next, we're honoring a team that creatively engaged with their local local community, forging meaningful partnerships beyond their campus. This year's Community Engagement Award winner delivered financial literacy and career workshops to over 1,000 students and promoted sustainability to more than 8,800 children across 44 schools and partnered with several local organizations to amplify their impact. Congratulations to Fleming College, the 2025 Community Engagement Award recipient. Now, let's recognize the team that took bold steps to grow their presence, communicate their mission, and champion the Enactus brand. With a strategic social media approach, this team boosted engagement through their high-quality content, impact-driven storytelling, and interactive campaigns. Their efforts increased campus visibility and earned local media attention. Our 2025 Brand Champion of the Year is Ontario Tech University. And finally, because a picture truly can be worth 1,000 words, we're celebrating the team whose photo captured the spirit, story, and impact of their work. You voted on Instagram and Facebook, and now we're excited to reveal the winner of our inaugural Best Project Photo of the Year. A little round of applause, please. Give it up for Sheridan College. Congratulations to all of these incredible teams. Now please join me in welcoming my fellow program manager, Sohaib Sahi Mohammed, to the stage to present the next rounds of awards.
How are you guys feeling? Now moving on. While Enactus is a team endeavor, every successful team depends on individuals who dedicate their time, energy, and creativity to pushing their team work forward. That's why each year, Enactus Canada invites students to recognize peers who go above and beyond through their individual awards. Let's begin with Project Manager of the Year award. This award honors a student leader whose outstanding effort brings their initiative to life, managing a team, stakeholders, timeline, budgets, and more to drive real impact in their community. This year's Project Manager of the Year transformed a single idea into a full operational retail collective. They generated over $38,000 in revenue, supported 30 local businesses, and launched an alumni-led nonprofit, all while creating a welcoming retail space in Glenrose community. Please join me in welcoming 2025 Enactus Canada Project Manager of the Year, Yasmin Lavoya Khatib from NATE. Okay, unfortunately, Yasmin couldn't join us on the stage, but we still wanted to recognize her amazing achievement. Thank you for all your work. Next, while Enactus team presenters often take all the spotlight, many heroes work behind the scenes. Enactus tech teams don't just run equipments. They refine final presentation, perfect timing, and help tell their team's story through visual, music, and precision. The Tech of the Year award recognizes a tech team or individual who has gone above and beyond in supporting their Enactus team. This year's recipient led their team's tech effort through 6 competitions, mentored new members, crafted a well-structured onboarding process, ran training sessions, and contributed to community outreach. His teammates call him Iceman for a good reason. Please help me give a big round of applause to the 2025 Enactus Tech of the Year, Andrew Loken from Okanagan College. Unfortunately, Loken is not with us today here in the ceremony, but we would still like to recognize his outstanding achievement with his team. Please, now, moving forward, please help me welcome my fellow program manager for Enactus Canada, Maddie Bristol, to the stage.
Thank you. Thanks to the generous donations of many individuals, we're proud to once again present the Enactus Women Leader of the Year Award. During the opening ceremonies, we introduced the top 10 finalists, an incredible group of young women. Each of these finalists will be paired with an established woman leader from the Enactus community for one-on-one mentorship. The recipient of the Enactus Woman of the Year Award will also receive a $2,500 bursary. This award recognizes that leadership isn't about just holding a title. It's about taking action. True leaders take meaningful risks, make tough decisions, and inspire others to move forward, even when the path ahead is uncertain. Our finalist embodies that spirit, and today, we're honored to recognize one outstanding student who truly leads by example. As co-president of her team, she mobilized 140 students to contribute a team record-breaking 22,000 volunteer hours. She scaled existing initiatives, launched 3 new projects addressing wood waste and water insecurity in Indigenous communities, all while balancing full-time research and volunteering at her campus sexual assault support center. Please join me in celebrating Urvi Malai from the University of British Columbia for our 2025 Enactus Woman Leader of the Year. Congratulations to all of our award recipients. Now let's move on to selecting the time slots for the final round of competition. We now invite one student and one faculty representative from each finalist team to come to the stage and draw a number. This number will determine the order in which your team selects its presentation slot. Team number 1, you have 10 seconds to state your school's name and select your time slot.
Wilfrid Laurier University, slot 4.
Team 2, you now have 10 seconds to select your time slot.
St. Mary's University, slot 3.
Team 3, you now have 10 seconds to select your time slot.
University of Ottawa, slot 1.
And Team 4, please come up and select the last remaining time slot.
University of British Columbia, Vancouver, slot 2.
Congratulations to all of our finalist teams and good luck. Félicitations et bonne chance à vous.
Don't forget, we're live streaming this afternoon's presentations on the Enactus Canada Nationals webpage. Be sure to let your teams, friends, and family back home know they can tune in now to watch the finalist presentations live. The Enactus final round of competition, proudly presented by Canadian Tire Corporation, will begin in just a few moments. Now, please join me in welcoming the distinguished business and community leaders who will select our 2025 national champion, our final round judges.
This is for Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
Call me when you break up. I wanna be the first one on your mind when you wake up. I miss the way we'd stay up. We talk about forever when I'm taking off my makeup. Call me when you break up. And maybe for a time I could have the space they take up. And make you forget what the name was. And when you're feeling down, I can show you what you're made of. Call me when you break up. Call me when you break up. I'll make it worth it. 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 Call me when you break up. I'm battling the lack of a self-look for medication. Tried every obvious replacement in bars and strangers' beds until my faith was in the basement. Won't you call me when you break up? I feel so out of luck, I'm skipping cracks along the pavement. Look, I'm emotionally bankrupt. We're so meant for each other. I mean, God, when will you wake up? Wake up. Call me when you break up. Call me when you break up. I'll make it worth it. 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 Oh, you picked up. Call me when you break up. Unless you found the person that you want a new name from. I'd like to be there when the day comes. You know I'm always here, so don't ever be a stranger.
I'm trying to understand these things. I need to know if you're feeling it, or I'm wasting my time. Your way or mine. Spend every second with him. You're taking what you're giving. Your mother don't approve of the way that you've been living. She says he puts you through it. You shouldn't let him do it. And if there is a voice in your head, don't listen to it. My mind is open wide, I think of it 1,000 times. That empty space left in my bed from when you stayed the night. We were plugged up, but you still made sure I slept on my side. I still wake up wishing you were there when I open my eyes. I'm trying to understand these things.
To formally open the Enactus final round of competition, proudly hosted by Canadian Tire Corporation, please welcome Ian Dumas, Chief Merchant Sport Check.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2025 Enactus final round of competition, proudly presented by Canadian Tire Corporation. As a proud Canadian organization, it's an honor and privilege to partner with Enactus Canada to showcase and celebrate the inspiring leaders of tomorrow and their shared commitment to make life in Canada better. Let's give them a round of applause before they start. At CTC, we're committed to strengthening our communities and advancing environmental sustainability coast to coast. Year after year, we are inspired by the innovative thinking and creative solutions put forward by the Enactus students, and this year is no exception. Thank you to today's four finalist teams for your incredible contributions to our communities and to our world. Today, we have the exciting challenge of selecting the next Enactus national champion who will represent Canada at the World Cup in Bangkok, Thailand. So without further delay, let's kick off the presentations, and good luck to everyone.
Listen to it.
Judges and guests, please help me welcome the team from University of Ottawa. You now have 3 minutes to distribute your written reports and prepare for your presentation.
University of Ottawa.
University of Ottawa.
University of Ottawa.
University of Ottawa.
You have 1 minute left in your setup period. You may now begin your presentation.
Social change comes from action. Action to think bigger, do more, and lead the change for a better tomorrow.
With wealth inequality growing across Canada, we've seen people just like us struggling to put food on the table and survive. But we believe that change is possible, and we are here to make it happen.
At Enactus U Ottawa, our communities are at the heart of our drive to create long-lasting social enterprises that uplift people and improve livelihoods.
Today, we'll show you the actionable business models, industry-evolving innovation, and real impact we built through NUPACO and AquaGrid, two social enterprises that directly help people.
Grocery store prices in Canada have risen by 26% in the past 5 years, pushing more Canadians into food insecurity.
In just 2023, the average rate of Canadians facing food insecurity rose from 18 to 23%. And the average rate of food insecurity across Canada has been steadily rising since 2021.
But it's not just about the affordability of food. Nutrient deficiency is also a rampant issue across the country. Health Canada reports that up to 87% of Canadians fail to meet the minimum daily requirements for essential nutrients.
For many, even when food is available, it isn't the right kind of food. Consumers across Ontario told us that a lack of nutritious, convenient options, coupled with anxiety about making healthy food choices, have led to a poorer quality of life.
To combat this complex issue, we knew we needed to find a solution that not only provides nutritious food, but also tackles financial barriers to food access head on.
Introducing NUPACO, your very own nutrient pack to go. We create cookies that address 5 of the most common nutrient deficiencies in Canada, offering an easy and delicious way to meet basic nutritional needs.
Per gram, each cookie provides the same protein as eggs, potassium as bananas, iron as spinach, and more. Our recipe and health benefits have been tested and certified at Eurofins, a professional lab earning NUPACO an official Canadian nutrition label.
NUPACO has a one-for-one business model. So, for every NUPACO cookie sold, another is donated to low-income communities through our strategic partnerships. This ensures that even those facing financial barriers can still access balanced nutrition.
The NUPACO business model is designed to be both sustainable and impactful. We sell our cookies for $2 each at a 60% gross margin. From each sale, 40% is allocated towards donating a cookie to low-income communities, while the remaining 20% goes towards expanding our operations.
Our go-to-market strategy targets groups that are struggling with making healthy food choices, like students and busy professionals. We've leveraged distribution partners and creative marketing campaigns to create multiple touchpoints with our customers. You may have even sampled some of our cookies yesterday at the TELUS Convention Center or Marriott Hotel entrances.
Since our launch just 9 months ago, we've proven our sales strategy works. We've secured hundreds of sales across Canada and generated $6,500 in revenue.
To scale NUPACO, we've built strong industry connections. We've secured a kitchen space at Causeway, a reputable not-for-profit helping people facing job barriers find work. We've also signed a distribution deal with Crackers Catering, a professional catering company which increases NUPACO's exposure to large-scale events across Ottawa.
Using our connections with wholesalers like Cisco and our optimized production processes to reduce our costs, we've employed 2 individuals from marginalized backgrounds at Ottawa's livable wage. This demonstrates the sustainability of our operations and our ability to offer decent work to low-income communities.
We have also created long-term partnerships with community organizations, ensuring that NUPACO cookies reach those who need them most. Let's hear from Chris Ogerman, Director of Development at Cornerstone Housing for Women, about how NUPACO is making a difference for the women they support.
Recently, Cornerstone had the opportunity to partner with NUPACO when they donated more than 1,000 nutrient-dense cookies so that people in our supportive housing and shelter communities could enjoy them. Absolutely loved the cookies, and they made such an impact on everybody at the event. Organizations like NUPACO allow us to do the important work that we do in the community, serving more than 300 individuals every single day. So thank you, NUPACO, for everything that you do.
To date, we've donated 1,100 cookies to low-income communities across Canada, but our impact doesn't stop at Canada's borders.
To feed vulnerable communities globally, we've partnered with Enactus Moyanex in Kenya.
Kenya has one of the highest rates of food insecurity in the world, according to the Global Hunger Index, with a third of the population undernourished.
The new Paco team baked all cookies in Canada and shipped them to the Kenyan Enactus team for distribution in early April. In collaboration with the Tumaini Innovation Center and Kenyans Children Home, who both support at-risk youth, we've helped 1,000 children get the nutrition they need to grow.
This marks NUPACO's first international expansion, a major step toward our mission to combat food insecurity worldwide. To keep momentum, we've established long-term contracts with current partners and are in talks with 3 more distributors to over triple the amount of people fed through NUPACO in the coming year.
Through the next year, NUPACO is projected to distribute 10,000 cookies, provide decent work to 5 people, and form strategic partnerships with 10 community organizations and distributors to increase food access to those facing food insecurity.
NUPACO is addressing the impact of wealth disparity on food access across Canada. But we knew there was more to the issue. Why are so many people facing unstable incomes that affect their ability to afford necessities?
To understand how those driving Canada's economy are being disadvantaged, we took a look at the industries that provide essential resources like food. Canada's billion-dollar marine industry, a key supplier of seafood and other vital products, plays an important role in this.
Canada's waters are essential to our environment and economy, but they face growing threats from rising water pollution. These pollutants lead to harmful ocean acidification.
Marine life, like shellfish and coral, need minerals to build their shells and skeletons. Ocean acidification eats away at those essential minerals, endangering marine life.
Projections suggest that ocean acidity could rise by 150% by the end of the century, with Canada's shellfish market already experiencing declines in both catch size and volume.
This environmental issue also impacts our supply chains. Reduced shellfish catches means higher prices for consumers and reduced income for the thousands of communities dependent on fisheries. The BC Shellfish Growers Association cites these issues as a major concern for the industry's future.
Our team saw an opportunity to clean up waters and reshape the industry with kelp. Kelp filters greenhouse gases and produces up to 100 times more oxygen than land forests of the same size.
Kelp also thrives in cold waters close to shores, making it ideal for the long Canadian coast.
With kelp as the key ingredient, we're creating green solutions for blue oceans with AquaGrid. The AquaGrid system uses modular kelp farms to filter water and combat ocean acidification.
It's low maintenance and user-friendly. We work closely with fishery managers and aquaculture technicians to understand their needs and ensure that our system can integrate smoothly into existing operations.
Once installed, a system can be left alone as the kelp soaks up water pollutants. This allows operators to continue their regular operations. The sensors on each system can monitor pollution levels for operators virtually.
After a year, old kelp lines are cut off and new kelp lines are added in for another year. Kelp can be sold and has common use cases, such as being processed into fertilizer, creating a circular waste system.
Just one AquaGrid unit can remove 1,300 kilograms of greenhouse gases and produce 1,100 kilograms of oxygen every year. The filtering effects span 18 times the area of the system and increase shellfish yield.
Our modular design also allows operators to buy additional attachable units that can multiply the environmental impact at just 3/4 the initial unit cost.
To bring the solution to consumers, our team knew we had to make a simple and innovative design. Over 6 months of development, we've had our system reviewed by 3 professional research and engineering teams to finalize designs that we intend to patent.
The initial AquaGrid system cost $6,500 to set up. The system has an annual maintenance cost of $600, creating a reoccurring revenue stream for the business.
For operators, just one system can generate $3,000 in revenue a year. It has a 3-year payback period based on potential kelp sales and increased shellfish yield. Additionally, it generates over $2,500 in value annually from pollutant removal, bringing money back to farmers and lowering consumer prices.
Our go-to market strategy targets private shellfish farmers in coastal communities. Leveraging our connections with ocean experts in leading organizations, we're in discussions to pilot at the Ecology Action Center for the next kelp growing season this September.
Through our current leads pipeline, we project to roll out 20 units across Canada next year, generating $130,000 in revenue in just our first true operating year.
Today, we've shown you the power of entrepreneurial action to create businesses that protect people and shape a better future.
With New Paco, our cookie for a cause is fighting food insecurity around the world with every bite. We have created 5 long-term partnerships, employed 2 people, and have helped 2,700 people get the nutrition they need.
And with AquaGrid, we're cleaning our waters and supporting communities with a groundbreaking new system. In less than 10 months, we've generated 20 projected customers that can bring $60,000 in revenue for operators, produce 26,000 pounds of greenhouse gases, and produce 21,000 pounds of oxygen.
This year, our team of over 80 members generate $25,000 in revenue across 8 projects that tackle 13 sustainable development goals, directly impact over 3,000 people, and work with 30 industry partners.
We saw inequalities and built solutions that will shape the next generation of sustainable businesses.
Your presentation time has now expired. We will now begin the question and answer period. Judges, please raise your hand to indicate you have a question, and a microphone will be brought to you. When asking your questions, please stand if you are able.
Hello, I have a first question for you. Could you tell us what you were about to say when you were cut off?
Yeah, for sure.
3, 2, 1. We are Enactus U Ottawa, and we're just getting started.
That was great. Y'all should be voice actors if this doesn't work out. That was a really good presentation. I'm in the food security space, so I'm happy to ask the first question about New Paco. Can you talk about your competitive landscape? If I'm at the grocery store, why am I choosing New Paco over a granola bar or something like that?
We've done thorough price testing within our target market's most frequented areas, like local convenience stores and vending machines. And we found that not only is our price competitive for the amount of food that you get for the cost, but also we're able to have higher nutrient density within our cookies by being a social enterprise and leveraging a lower gross margins.
Hi. Can you talk me through the product development piece? Like, I know you did a ton of research, but did you include any medical doctors or nutritionists?
For New Paco, we had a 6-month development period with over 12 product iterations. And within each iteration, we did customer tests, as well as consulted with not only peer-reviewed journals on nutrients, how to retain those nutrients within baking, but also spoke with dietitians within our university and also medical school students and our own biology students within our team. So we did do thorough testing before, and then getting the nutrient label from Eurofins was the extra certification to add validity to our claims.
Follow-on question about pricing. Do you not think Canadian consumers would pay a premium for the New Paco product, given its one-to-one business model?
We found that since we plan to enter retail very soon, we already have 3 leads for retail stores within the next few months, there is a markup that's associated with entering retail stores. By keeping a lower cost right now, we will be able to target a higher cost later when we enter the market and maybe match the value that we're adding.
Hi there. Can you please share a bit more on your plans to scale up to 10,000 cookies next year for New Paco?
For New Paco, currently we have 2,700 cookies that have been distributed, and we've already signed long-term distribution deals with our current distributors like Crackers Catering and Cornerstone Housing for Women. Through the next year, we've already been in talks with 3 distributors in retail stores. Retail stores means more consistent sales each week and also a higher volume of sales. We're actually using a conservative estimate that we will just triple the number with each retail store, but we expect it to be even higher than that for the 10,000.
Can you speak to your packaging and shelf life?
For New Paco, our shelf life has been tested to be minimum 2 weeks within the pantry and then indefinitely within freezer storage, but we can guarantee with a couple months in freezer storage. In terms of packaging, in order to scale New Paco, we've been focusing on bulk buying plastic packaging, but since we've been effectively bringing our cost down by over 20% by operating this year, we can afford to lean towards more sustainable packaging and maybe be more in line with New Paco's mission.
Your nutrition claims on New Paco were kind of generic, so it had potassium like a banana. Do you have it broken down by cookie exactly how much it would equate to, just from a nutrition claim perspective?
Per cookie, they each meet over the within a nutrient label, over 10 to 15% is considered a significant amount. So for each of the targeted nutrient deficiencies within a New Paco cookie, you are able to target over 10% for each nutrient.
Hi there. I had a question about the $2,500 pollutant removal number on the AquaGrid system. Can you share how you came up with that number?
It would be the market value. So the pollutant removal that AquaGrid systems bring is particularly nitrogen removal and carbon dioxide removal. So it would be the market rate if you were to buy carbon offsets.
Hi guys, just flipping back to New Paco for a second. You talked about growth from the retail and sales perspective. Could you talk to us about, from a production perspective, how you're going to keep up with volume?
So right now, we've already grown our production by being able to sign a contract with a professional kitchen space where we can now employ up to 10 people baking. Since we started employing people recently, scaling will be much easier now that we can have consistent labor. And we also have formed long-term partnerships with Causeway, which has more kitchen spaces for us to expand into. So once we figure out the demand for the retail stores that we'll be entering in a few months, we'll be able to scale accordingly with our kitchens.
Your time has expired. Judges and guests, please help me in thanking the team from the University of Ottawa. Judges, please use this time to share your feedback on the team's green evaluation form. The next team's presentation will begin momentarily. Audience members, we ask that you remain quiet while the judges complete their scoring.
Vendámelo, yo sé que estás pensándolo, llevo tiempo intentándolo, mami estoy dando y dándolo, sabe que tu corazón conmigo te hace bam bam, sabe que esa beba está buscando de mi bam bam, me pruebas de mi boca para ver cómo te sabe, quiero ver cuánto amor a ti te cabe, yo no tengo prisa, yo me quiero dar el viaje, empezamos lento, después salvaje, pasito a pasito, suave suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito, cuando tú me besas con esa destreza, veo que eres malicia con delicadeza, pasito a pasito, suave suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito, y es que esa belleza es un rompecabezas, pero para montarlo aquí tengo la pieza. Oye,
despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito, deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito, firma las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Sube. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo, que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos, baby. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito, vamos a hacerlo en una playa en Puerto Rico, hasta que las olas griten ay bendito, para que mi sello se quede contigo.
Pasito a pasito, suave suavecito.
suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Hasta provocar tus gritos, sin que olvides tu apellido. Despacito.
Ya ni llegó. Presente. Here we go. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. Turn the music up. Let's do it. Come on, people. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. Turn the music up to hear that sound. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. Ain't nobody gotta tell you what you gotta do. If you wanna live your life, live it all the way and don't you waste it. Every feeling, every beat can be so very sweet. You gotta taste it. You gotta do it. You gotta prove it. Come on, you know what we're here for. Do it. Prove it. Life's a party, make it hot. Dance, don't ever stop, whatever rhythm. Every minute, every day, take them all the way. You gotta live 'em, 'cause I'm gonna live my life. You gotta do it. You gotta prove it. Do it. Prove it. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. Turn the music up to hear that sound. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. Ain't nobody gotta tell you what you gotta do.
Judges and guests, please help me welcome the team from the University of British Columbia, Vancouver. You now have 3 minutes to distribute your written reports and prepare for your presentation.
University of British Columbia, Vancouver.
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 You have 1 minute left in your setup period.
As we present today in Calgary, we would like to acknowledge that we are situated on the traditional territories of the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. The city of Calgary is also home to the Métis people of Alberta, District 5 and 6. At Enactus UBC, we aim to learn from Indigenous knowledge and work alongside communities to co-create sustainable solutions. On this land, we commit to meaningful action because reconciliation is not just about acknowledgement, but real change.
May now begin your presentation.
Canada, the true north, strong and free, was built on a promise to protect both this land and the people that call it home.
From incredible waterfalls to stunning coastlines, our greatest gift has always been the bond between nature and those who live alongside it.
But this promise is slowly slipping away, not from the chaos beyond our borders, but from the choices made here at home.
For far too long, we have taken this land for granted, resulting in a broken relationship with the natural resources that sustain us.
Unsustainable logging practices now threaten our global climate.
Indigenous communities lack access to clean drinking water.
And our next generation doesn't have the tools to take action and make a difference.
With our team of 143 members at Enactus UBC, we saw no choice than to fight these systemic issues that threaten our home.
Because when we define the true north, strong and free, it means so much more than just protecting our sovereignty.
It means doing everything in our power to keep Canada as not only our home, but our children and grandchildren's homes too.
With our story today being one of protecting our home, we found no better place to start than with where we live in British Columbia.
A province defined by its vast forests and natural beauty. British Columbia's forestry industry is a major economic driver, but beneath it lies an environmental crisis.
Each year in BC, 1.75 million tons of wood is wasted due to deforestation and unsustainable logging practices.
The National Zero Waste Council states that 85% of this discarded wood remains unused in landfills, releasing carbon emissions and contributing to the growing climate crisis.
If even a fraction of this discarded wood were to be repurposed, it would generate millions in economic and social value and bring our province a step closer to achieving UN SDG number 12.
With our first project, Rekindle, we partnered with UBC Center of Advanced Wood Processing to upcycle discarded wood into biodegradable, waterproof coasters.
After 30 prototypes, we re-engineered a brand new casing-based adhesive by adding baking soda for stronger bonding and urea to prevent brittleness.
To ensure it is waterproof, we then add natural wood oil and plant-based wax as our finish.
Coasters are the perfect balance of functionality and sustainability. Small enough to refine our adhesive technology, yet impactful enough to educate consumers on waste-free wood products.
With our unit cost of just 70 cents, we maintain a 72% profit margin while underselling all of our competitors at a selling price of just $2.50.
As of today, we have an established retail partnership with the UBC bookstore, who have already purchased 500 coasters to begin selling this month.
What we really want to emphasize today is our innovative casing adhesive, which we are currently working to patent and use to develop additional household products.
And by September, we will be launching 2 student job opportunities in collaboration with the UBC Sauder School of Business to help us expand our reach.
We have also begun outreach to additional retailers and are currently developing a partnership with Canadian Tire, who are planning on purchasing our expanded line of scalable, in-demand household products.
Rekindle is more than just a range of products. It's a movement to reshape the future of consumption in Canada, starting in our home, BC.
However, as we took a step to repair our relationship with BC's forest, we identified another urgent crisis: water accessibility.
In a province known for glacial rivers, access to clean water should be a given, but for far too many, it's not.
As of January 31st, the BC First Nations Health Authority reported 37 drinking water advisories across 30 First Nations communities. Across Canada, this leaves 2 million people with unreliable access to clean drinking water.
But this isn't just a number. It's a lived reality. Families, like those in the Skoluk First Nation, face a daily struggle. Hours boiling water, costly alternatives, and exposure to toxins like arsenic and lead.
We began by listening. Over the past year, our team visited nations, sat in community halls, and engaged with Indigenous elders.
We heard stories of rashes after showers, of bottled water costing over $80 per month for a single person, of mothers having to brush their children's teeth with unclean water.
One mother told us, it's not just inconvenient, it's humiliating. This is not because there's no water, it's because the systems that should be protecting them haven't.
This is a systemic failure. Indigenous communities rely on outdated, overburdened infrastructure. Government solutions are slow. New water systems can take 5 to 10 years, cost millions, and break down if they're not maintained.
And in the meantime, people are left waiting.
To tackle UN SDG number 6, we began by collaborating with the UBC Chinook Indigenous Business Center and the Indigenous Research Support Initiative to learn and relearn the challenges that these communities face.
Over 4 months of consulting with Indigenous leaders and elders of our communities, we developed MIRA, a sustainable multi-layer water filter that tackles organic chemicals, inorganic pollutants, and biological contaminants.
Unlike existing solutions such as Brita or chlorine tablets that only target 1 or 2 contaminants, MIRA removes all 3. Here's how.
A 50-watt solar panel powers an electric pump that draws water from the source and passes through 4 stages.
First, an activated carbon filter removes organic pollutants like pesticides and fertilizers.
Next, a UV light breaks down DNA in bacteria and viruses.
Third, a particle filter eliminates dirt, microplastics, and waste.
And finally, a reverse osmosis membrane extracts heavy metals such as lead and arsenic, as well as salts.
The result? Water that meets World Health Organization standards for clean water for up to 100 people per filter.
But we didn't just stop at filtration. As social entrepreneurs, MIRA was built with practicality and flexibility in mind.
It can be used in community halls, taken to emergency sites, or even connected directly to a sink, making it perfect for everyday use.
With similar market alternatives ranging from $500 to $3,000, MIRA costs just $150 to set up and $25 per year for maintenance. This includes filter replacements and UV upkeep.
Our pilot project launches this summer, providing clean drinking water to 60 residents in the Skoluk First Nation. And we're already in active communications with 3 more communities to scale our impact by 2026.
Having completed testing with accredited UBC labs and gained approval from the BC First Nations Health Authority, our next step is official certification from the National Sanitation Foundation by the end of this year.
Through Rekindle and MIRA, we're not just appreciating BC's beauty, we're protecting, respecting, and restoring it.
Now, judges, standing here today, our team is incredibly proud to have brought these 2 entrepreneurial projects to life this year and have taken meaningful strides towards protecting the home that we are so passionate about.
However, if you asked any of us back in high school, we wouldn't have thought any of this was even possible. We simply didn't know where to start.
At Enactus UBC, we surveyed over 2,000 BC students and found that we weren't alone. Our students want to make tangible, sustainable impact, but 78% feel the BC curriculum has failed to equip them with the entrepreneurial resources to do so.
Protecting our home means going a step beyond our own ventures like Rekindle and MIRA. It means we claim ownership in ensuring the next generation can create sustainable, positive impact.
Our final, most long-standing projects, Innovate and Inspire, are hands-on educational programs that empower youth through social entrepreneurship.
In both programs, our student leaders go directly into classrooms to teach workshops on business fundamentals.
We mentor students to become entrepreneurial leaders and create ventures that each tackle a UN SDG.
Through Inspire, our program leaders introduce elementary students, age 11 to 13, on foundational and fundamental business skills.
And through Innovate, high school students can create their own innovative social enterprises that make a direct impact in their local communities. Unlike other educational programs, which focus solely on conceptual learning, we provide every team with a $150 microloan, simulating financial risk and responsibility.
I'm standing here today to share my story as a past participant. When I was in high school, I created Cedar, a project that collects produce from farms and repurposes them into meals for food insecure students. When I joined UBC, I brought this project to Enactus to deepen our impact. None of this would have been possible without the skills and confidence that Innovate gave me.
Irvi's story is one of many. 1/3 of our current Innovate team has come back to Enactus UBC after completing Innovate, using their experiences to educate and elevate future changemakers.
In the past year alone, we have developed online learning modules that have allowed us to expand our reach from BC to Alberta and Ontario.
And grew from 37 to 48 classes across 9 cities, expanding our home across Canada to empower the next generation.
With over 300 workshops, we have impacted over 1,400 students in entrepreneurial education and workforce preparation.
We have also supported the creation of 50 student-led businesses and have generated over $14,000 in revenue.
As for our next steps, we are working towards a partnership with the Vancouver School Board to incorporate our programs into the BC curriculum to reach all students and make systemic change.
Through Rekindle and Mira, our team has proven that we are capable of building and growing successful social enterprises.
And with Innovate and Inspire, we've taken the depth of our impact a step forward, creating long-term ripples through the next generation.
Across all our combined initiatives, our team of 143 members have dedicated over 21,000 volunteer hours, contributed towards 8 sustainable development goals, and truly made real, meaningful impact.
And this is just the beginning of our story.
In the next year, Rekindle will generate $24,600 in revenue and reduce 885 kilograms of carbon emissions through upcycling wood waste.
Mira will reach 3 local communities and provide an additional 150,000 liters of clean drinking water.
And Inspire and Innovate will reach an additional 2,000 students across 100 new modules and 3 provinces.
But this isn't just Enactus UBC's story.
Our story is one that defines Canada, showing just how much is possible when we find unity in our diversity, innovation, and passion.
Judges, join us as we continue our mission to protect the beauty of our home. For Canada will always be the true north, strong and free.
And we are
Enactus UBC.
We will now begin the question and answer period. Judges, please raise your hand to indicate you have a question, and a microphone will be brought to you. When asking your question, please stand if you are able.
For Mira, is there an opportunity or responsibility to do ongoing testing of the water once the filter is installed to ensure it's safe?
Yes, of course. So we're launching our first pilot this summer with the Skoluk First Nation, and we'll be in constant communication and collaboration to refine and adapt our prototype. Even when we span to more communities, there will be constant communication. Our team will actually be going in person to make sure that we're able to adapt and refine and make sure that our water is meeting all quality standards.
Hello, how did you go about identifying and reaching out to the Indigenous communities that you consulted with?
That's a great question. At Enactus UBC, we understand that it's so important to take the proper time and use the proper resources to really understand the struggles that some of these Indigenous communities face. So at Enactus UBC, we first wanted to consult with our faculty and the university, where we partnered with a few organizations at UBC who then put us into contact with the Skoluk First Nation. And from there, we went from talking to them, had them in all of our meetings, and had that constant communication to ensure that we were not only able to understand their needs, but how we can collaborate with them to ensure that we're providing a solution that they want.
For the solar-powered Mira, did you consider northern communities that may not have year-round access to solar power and how that would work?
Yes, of course. That was a concern that we had. However, we have placed a generator inside of our product, which can store electricity and power, store solar power for a long time for weather conditions. And that is something we're working to refine and adapt in our pilot, and is something that we're working in collaboration with our chemical engineering team as well as the Skoluk First Nation to adapt.
you've got a lot going on. How do you prioritize where you allocate, resources, capital for all of these great initiatives?
Absolutely, I can take this one. With our team of 143 members at Enactus UBC, this is divided not only quite evenly amongst all of our projects, but also in terms of the number of individuals we have on our fund development team who support us at an organization-wide level as to applying for grants and distributing funds and resources based on what each project needs in each given year. Just to give a very quick project-by-project breakdown, for Mira, we are currently reliant on a $2,000 grant that we received from the UBC Sauder School of Business to help us with our prototyping efforts, and we currently have a team of about 10 individuals working on those prototyping as well as with our market research, very similarly with Rekindle. And as for Innovate and Inspire, we have a team of about 20 to 30 program associates for each project who go into these high schools individually and in person to deliver these workshops.
Very good, you guys. The question I have is when you combine an adhesive and a wood product, you change the chemical makeup of it. Have you studied what chemicals are released when it accidentally or intentionally is burnt?
That's a great question. Through our 4-month-long prototyping phase, we tried a variety of different chemicals, blended them together, and see the effects that would then happen. However, with our casing-based adhesive, we have been able to perfect a model that is able to be converted into products such as coasters without actually releasing any chemicals within the production process.
What, if any, marketing principles did you apply to drive consumer demand once you get into Canadian Tire?
That's a great question. Right now, we are currently working in collaboration with a local store manager to get our products in Canadian Tire. And with them, we're also working with them to create various displays and product displays that can not only tell the story of our product, but also the story of our mission. We believe the root of Rekindle is in the fact that we're repurposing this wood waste. And so making sure that we're selling that as well on the educational front, as well as the actual product itself, is something that we're definitely prioritizing.
Hi, congratulations. Can you quickly walk us through the cost structure of Mira? So what's it cost to produce a unit? What's the labor involved? And for sure.
Yes, right now one product costs $70 to make, and we're selling it for $150, which is a price point that we came up with in collaboration with the Skoluk First Nation. It is more affordable than other existing options, and right now our team of 10 dedicated volunteers are able to help refine and work with the Skoluk First Nation to perfect our prototype.
Hi. Congratulations. My question was related to the Rekindle product, and if you've looked at the market or
Your
the
time has expired. Judges and guests, please help me in thanking the team from University of British Columbia, Vancouver. Judges, we now have a break. Please return to your seats no later than 3 p.m. when we'll begin the second half of the final round of competition, proudly presented by Canadian Tire Corporation.
Let me tell you. You my little boo thing, so I don't give a hoot what you do. Say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell him I'm next. Tell him you find a little something too fresh, I know. Tell him I'm next. Tell him you find a little something too fresh, I know. Put a little gold in the teeth and the fit good, so I took the doors out the deep. Okay, I see a brother holding your seat, no beef, but I'm trying to get to know you at least. Don't take my talking to your own. I can keep it chill like the Soviet blunt. I'ma keep it real when your man long gone. If you're looking for a friend and you got the wrong song, baby girl, what's good? What's with ya? If you book tonight, that's fiction. I'm outside, no pictures. You want me? Go figure. To the back, to the front. You a 10, baby girl, but I'm the one. Hey, to the back, to the front. You a 10, baby girl, but I'm the one. You my little boo thing, so I don't give a hoot what you do. Say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know. Hey, girl, you got me. I'm singing. It's like, oh, oh, you got the best of mine. Oh, oh, you got the best of mine. Oh, oh, you got the best of mine. Oh, oh, and then just some white. You my little boo thing, so I don't give a hoot what you do. Say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know.
Can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. Yeah. I break tradition. Sometimes my tries are outside the line. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can.
Please take your seats. The final round of competition, proudly presented by Canadian Tire Corporation, will continue in 3 minutes.
Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. Feel the rain
you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you've been here before? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? We were caught up and lost in all of our vices. In your pose as the dust settled around us, and the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds roll over the hills, bringing darkness from above. But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you've been here before? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? Oh, where do we begin? The rubble or our sins? Oh, where do we begin? The rubble or our sins? And the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds roll over the hills, bringing darkness from above. But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you've been here before? Oh, how am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? If you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all?
Judges and guests, please help me welcome the team from St. Mary's University. You now have 3 minutes to distribute your written reports and prepare for your presentation.
Enactus St. Mary's.
St. Mary's University.
St. Mary's University.
You now have 1 minute left in your setup period. You may now begin your presentation.
The resiliency of every Canadian is being tested. Rising inflation is squeezing household budgets. Tariffs are reshaping global trade, and economic uncertainty is creating instability. We are all aware of these issues, and to create real change, Canadians need to take action.
Canada is rich in natural resources, with a highly skilled workforce and an education system that ranks among the world's best.
Now is the time to harness these strengths, to champion Canadian-made solutions for a prosperous, sustainable future. This requires bold action, entrepreneurs who are willing to innovate and create real change. We are Enactus St. Mary's, entrepreneurs, innovators, and change makers.
Today we'll present two businesses leveraging Canadian resources, supporting our local communities, and developing products that will shape our future.
Our first business, Square Roots, is focusing on prosperity today and has been for the past decade. Right now, 1 in 4 Canadians face food insecurity. That's nearly 9 million people. This is the highest ever recorded in Canadian history, with families today having to spend $800 more on their grocery bills.
This is the challenge we are solving with Square Roots, a registered community interest company 100% owned by Enactus St. Mary's. We partner with local farmers to rescue surplus produce, food that is healthy but cosmetically imperfect. Farmers are wasting time and resources on this unused produce that they then need to pay to dispose of. Square Roots distributes this food to families facing food insecurity, increasing farmers' profits while supporting local communities.
Square Roots is a very important part of our community.
This is a great way to get some awesome healthy produce, especially with this economy, get the kind of local nutritious food that you need for yourself and your family.
Square Roots really brings together a group of people that want to do things in the community. I think a lot of people are kind of stuck in talking about doing things, and this is really putting it to action.
Let's break down our business model. We purchase 1 pound of produce from farmers for 61 cents. We then sell it to our 25 franchisees at 70 cents per pound, generating a 15% commission that we reinvest into the growth of our business. Franchisees sell this produce to local families at just $1 per pound, a 50% discount when compared to grocery store prices.
We aren't just addressing wasted produce and hunger. We are teaching entrepreneurship by empowering community leaders to become business owners. Our franchise package allows an entrepreneur to easily implement a Square Roots location in their community and tailor it to their unique challenges.
Instead of a traditional franchising model where entrepreneurs pay to open a location, we invest in them. We pay for the setup of their location, which includes free produce for their first drop. This allows our entrepreneurs to earn a profit immediately, giving them the confidence they need to run a successful Square Roots franchise.
This year, Square Roots has grown by 140%. We opened 14 new locations, engaged 25 sustainable entrepreneurs, and generated $123,000 in additional revenue for our farmers. Most importantly, Square Roots delivered 234,000 pounds of fresh produce to Canadian families.
Square Roots has been there for Canadians through some of the greatest challenges they have ever faced: COVID, tariffs, inflation. But in 2025, Square Roots achieved a monumental milestone. Since inception, we provided over 1 million pounds of produce to families. And with our current growth rate, we will achieve 2 million pounds by 2027. Square Roots has proven our ability to create long-lasting solutions that support Canadians.
Our second business, Alagi, is creating Canadian prosperity by taking local resources and creating a global solution. A critical area demanding innovation, one where Canada must lead, is the plastic crisis. Every year, Canadians throw away 3 million tons of plastic, yet only 9% is recycled. A major contributor is plastic film products such as plastic bags and food wraps, which represent 34% of all plastic waste. Common plastic alternatives such as paper and wood lack the properties required to replace these films.
Based on this knowledge, we turned our focus to bioplastics. We began by reviewing over 30 bioplastic patents and analyzing more than 100 academic and industry reports to truly understand the bioplastic industry. During our research, we discovered a critical issue preventing bioplastics from being widely adopted. Most bioplastics, often made of cornstarch or cassava, are unable to scale due to inefficient resource collection and inconsistent material production.
We had to find a resource that doesn't compete with major food supplies, has a low cost to produce, and also contains the necessary properties to create a stable film material. We found that resource growing on the shores of Atlantic Canada, seaweed. It is readily available. It does not need any land, fertilizer, or fresh water to produce, and it can grow up to 60 centimeters in a single day. Our business, Alagi, has created a fully compostable bioplastic alternative for flexible plastic products made from seaweed.
After 8 months of iterating over 40 prototypes, our team has developed a 100% compostable plastic film. Irish sea moss and dulse are the seaweeds we found to be best for production, and this process begins by extracting biopolymers from the seaweed and blending them with a natural acid and plasticizer. This results in a material that fully decomposes within 6 months while acting exactly like traditional plastic. Using this, we have created durable plastic bags ranging from sandwich to grocery store sizes.
Through our needs assessments, we discovered another type of plastic in desperate need of an alternative: the plastic film covering meat and seafood products in the grocery store.
There is currently no sustainable alternative for this film because the packaging must meet a 10K OTR requirement, a scientific measure used in specialized film packaging, engineered to control oxygen flow through the material to prevent spoilage, discoloration, and bacterial growth. This is a critical industry standard that must be met. Alagi has begun developing the world's first bioplastic 10K OTR film.
To aid in development, Alagi has secured $24,000 in startup funding from competitions and grants, and we've been accepted into 5 incubator programs. We're also working in partnership with St. Mary's University's engineering department, testing and prototyping in their production lab under the guidance of chemical and material science engineers.
We currently are working on making the process more efficient and also more scalable through adjustment in composition and also material properties. We're really excited to see Alagi develop these sort of products. It's using locally sourced sustainable materials. We're able to close the life cycle of these products. We source it here, we produce it here, and then we sell it to the market here as well.
We have formed strategic partnerships with the National Research Council, who is further supporting us to conduct tensile and compostability tests. To harvest seaweed at scale, we are working directly with the Ecology Action Center, who is providing us with seaweed through responsible harvesting practices. Now, let's look at our business model.
Our cost to produce 1 kilogram of Alagi film is $1, allowing us to price our product at $1.50 per kilogram. On this, we earn a 33% profit margin and maintain a competitive price compared to regular plastic products.
We've proven demand for our products through conversations with Sobeys and Highlander Foods, who have agreed to test our material. We have also secured 2 letters of intent from Silver Rose Seafoods and Scotia Plastics. Not only has Scotia Plastics agreed to purchase our products, as Atlantic Canada's largest food packaging manufacturer, they have the experience and expertise needed to bring our product to market.
We understand the importance of environmentally friendly solutions as we navigate our business into the future. We have the experience in the food packaging space navigating all the regulatory requirements and frameworks. Something we don't have is the solution. Alagi was one of those opportunities and technologies that were really attractive to us. What we want to do is partner with Alagi as they progress with their solutions so that we can bring it to the marketplace and create a greener environment for everyone.
Alagi is also gaining national recognition. In March, we were named the Canadian champion of the prestigious Halt Prize, placing top 60 out of 10,000 global applicants, giving us the opportunity to compete for $1 million on the global stage this September.
Moving forward, our timeline looks like this. Over the next 6 months, we will finalize our testing with the National Research Council. From there, based on our current letters of intent, we will generate $2.25 million in revenue in the next 2 years. And in year 3, with the patent secured, we'll begin licensing our formula to scale across North America, with partners like Highlander Foods and Sobeys, generating $6 million in revenue.
With our bioplastic company, we have shown that Enactus St. Mary's is capable of driving Canadian innovation to solve global problems.
The challenges we outlined today: food insecurity heightened by inflation, economic pressures from shifting trade, the environmental and economic burden of plastic waste. These aren't abstract problems. They are affecting our families, our industries, our communities, and our future.
Square Roots has shown how direct action rooted in community partnership can make a profound difference today. Every pound of produce diverted is families fed, farmers supported, and entrepreneurs empowered.
Alagi is the future. We aren't just creating a bioplastic. We are harnessing an Atlantic Canadian resource to develop a scalable Canadian solution to a global crisis.
These projects are tangible proof of the Enactus St. Mary's philosophy. We don't wait for change. We create it.
We have proven our ability to execute, to adapt, and here are our results. 9.
The number of businesses we run impacting our communities.
31.
The number of partners we've worked with this year supporting our growth.
62.
The amount of passionate students on our team driving change.
234,000.
The pounds of food delivered this year to families in need.
241,000.
The amount of revenue earned by our businesses this year reinvested into our growth.
1 million
pounds of produce. This is Square Roots' impact since its beginning.
And the amount Alagi will be competing for as Canadian Halt Prize champions.
We are Enactus St. Mary's, made in Canada, built for the world.
We will now begin the question and answer period. Judges, please raise your hand to indicate you have a question, and a microphone will be brought to you. When asking your question, please stand if you are able.
Can you describe any changes or innovations you had in the past 12 months on Square Roots?
So we are working directly with our farmers, our community managers to work on our transportation routes as we're moving into provinces such as New Brunswick and PEI. We want to make sure that our produce is not only dropped at a centralized location for the convenience of these community managers, but also that we're reducing as much emissions as we possibly can. So that's what we've been working a lot on over the last 12 months.
Hi there. Can you please share a bit on the competitive landscape for Alagi?
Yes, so right now we are priced at $1.50 per kilogram. During our conversations with Scotia Plastics, actually, we learned that they're purchasing petroleum pellets, so plastic pellets, for $1.80, 30 cents higher than our price point. And other bioplastic alternatives are priced anywhere between 40 to 100% more expensive than our product.
For Alagi, can you clarify where the original idea came from? Did you guys have a think tank, partner with another part of your university?
So an Enactus St. Mary's student, our founder of Alagi, he wanted to change the world at just 10 years old. And he, as a chemical engineering student, wanted to use an Atlantic Canadian resource and develop this global solution. And he went for it, and we are so happy that we have this business now that we can all work on and we can grow globally.
Hi there, thanks so much. I'm just wondering with Alagi, have you been able to secure the IP, and is there a direct-to-consumer model?
So we are currently working with IP lawyers to finalize our processes. So we're going to patent our formula and our manufacturing process. We will begin submitting our patent and that application over the next 6 months. And when we're working with direct-to-consumer, we want to focus initially on selling directly to manufacturers. And then we are working on other iterations. So for example, we want to also be able to modify our formula to create rigid plastic products as well. So we are able to work in a variety of markets.
Was wondering what the average tenure of a Square Roots franchisee is. I know you added 14 more. I've seen a lot of other numbers over the, how long do you usually keep a franchisee?
So actually many of our locations have been running since the very beginning. And if any of these franchisees, maybe a community manager doesn't have the time, they give us a 2 months notice and we're able to get another community manager in. We want to keep these in the communities as long as possible because it really is really important to people.
For Alagi, if you reach your projections upwards of $6 million in revenue, what financial controls do you have in place, and what will you be doing with those net proceeds?
Yes, so with that $6 million, we are going, so just to clarify, that $6 million is based off of a conversation we had with Sobeys, who is looking to replace 25 million kilograms of plastic. So 10% of that would be $6 million. And with the amount of money that we are going to have, we will continue R&D and continue R&D, and as Becca had mentioned, create other varieties of products, such as looking into going from flexible products to rigid plastic products. So expanding our market and expanding our impact.
Got to try and beat the buzzer. My question is related to the harvesting of the seaweed for your Alagi project. How are you managing that, and how will you do that as you scale up?
So we are working with the Ecology Action Center, who has been in the industry for a decade and knows how to sustainably harvest our seaweed. Essentially, the process to harvest this is that they cut it at a certain height to not disrupt any of the marine life surrounding it, such as on the seabed or the fish that are swimming around. And then they are extracting our biopolymers for us and giving it to us in a powdered form to create our products in lab.
With Alagi, how many employees do you have, full-time or part-time?
So currently, it is strictly within our Enactus team right now. We are working in partnership with the engineering department in order to fully and finish prototyping our product, and then in which we will then patent our product and then work on, hiring and licensing our formula to scale.
Hi again. For Alagi, what are the product features like? I noticed that it looked kind of greenish. Like, is it able to adapt to different types of packaging and like be clear enough for people to see what the food looks like?
So our product is actually completely transparent. We use the green food
Your
coloring.
time has expired. Judges and guests, please help me in thanking the team from St. Mary's University. Judges, please use this time to share your feedback on the team's green evaluation form. The next team's presentation will begin momentarily. Audience members, we ask that you remain quiet while the judges complete their scoring.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. However, is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
Call me when you break up. I wanna be the first one on your mind when you wake up. I miss the way we'd stay up. We talk about forever when I'm taking off my makeup. Call me when you break up. And maybe for a time I could have the space they take up. I make you forget what the name was. And when you're feeling down, I can show you what you're made of. Call me when you break up. Call me when you break up. I'll make it worth it. 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 Call me when you break up. I'm battling the lack of a self look for medication. Tried every obvious replacement. In bars and strangers' beds until my faith was in the basement. Won't you call me when you break up? I feel so out of luck, I'm skipping cracks along the pavement. Look, I'm emotionally bankrupt. We're so meant for each other. I mean, God, when will you wake up? Wake up. Call me when you break up. Call me when you break up. I'll make it worth it. 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 Oh, you picked up. Call me when you break up. Unless you found the person that you want a new name from. I'd like to be there when the day comes. You know I'm always here, so don't ever be a stranger.
I'm tryna understand these things. I need to know if you're feeling it, or I'm wasting my time. Your way or mine. Spend every second with him. You're taking what you're giving. Your mother don't approve of the way that you've been living. She says he puts you through it. You shouldn't let him do it. And if there is a voice in your head, don't listen to it. My mind is open wide, I think of it 1,000 times. That empty space left in my bed from when you stayed the night. We were plugged up, but you still made sure I slept on my side. I still wake up wishing you were there when I open my eyes. I'm tryna understand these things. I need to know if you're feeling.
Judges and guests, please help me welcome the team from Wilfrid Laurier University. You now have 3 minutes to distribute your written reports and prepare for your presentation.
Wilfrid Laurier University.
Wilfrid Laurier University.
Wilfrid Laurier University.
Wilfrid Laurier University.
You now have 1 minute left in your setup period.
We would like to acknowledge that Wilfrid Laurier University and its campuses are located on the Haldeman Tract, traditional territory of the Neutral, Anishinaabe, and Haudenosaunee peoples.
We recognize that there are varying beliefs within the autistic community about which language standards are correct. Based on existing literature, we have chosen to use identity-first language.
You may now begin your presentation.
What if we're only seeing parts of the problems?
What if we've missed critical gaps that are causing unnecessary human suffering?
But what if we redefine the problems and reimagine possible solutions?
Then Maggie wouldn't have lost her home to wildfires, leaving her feeling like somebody took a chalkboard eraser and erased her life.
And Jeremy wouldn't be struggling to find work, feeling like he's just on the edge of drowning and can't catch a breath.
The sad truth is that Maggie and Jeremy are not alone. Worldwide, over 65 million autistic adults remain unemployed, and in just 1 year, climate disasters destroyed the homes of over 26 million people.
So at Enactus Laurier, we asked ourselves, what if we paid more attention to these two fundamental human rights, housing and employment, that affect the very foundation of our quality of life, and focused on the parts of the problems that we're currently overlooking?
More than 1 in 4 Canadians live with a disability, but only 62% are employed, compared to 78% without a disability. Closing this employment gap could boost Canada's GDP by roughly $50 billion.
Stats Canada estimates that over 850,000 disabled Canadians have the potential to work, but at the same time, over 500,000 jobs remain vacant.
The math suggests there's a simple solution, but disability inclusion is a complex and delicate issue. And to truly solve this problem, we must look beneath the surface, because the most underrepresented group in our workforce is hidden in plain sight.
In Canada, 631,000 autistic adults are unemployed. We're unintentionally leaving behind a segment of our population who bring unique and highly valuable skills to the workforce.
With government supports typically ending at age 18, that leaves most reliant on disability payments that average just over $15,000 per year, well below the poverty line.
The barriers they face aren't always visible, but the consequences are deeply felt. autistic Canadians face higher risk of food and housing insecurity, as well as physical and mental health challenges.
As we look around at our classmates, we realize not all of us will have the same opportunities. It's hard to believe, but even with a post-secondary degree, less than 15% of autistic graduates will find stable employment.
Each year in Canada, almost 7,300 of our classmates will walk across the stage and enter a job market that looks completely different than ours, one that fundamentally misunderstands and overlooks them.
Despite this, no school in Canada currently offers autism-specific career support. Until now,
Sapphire is the first comprehensive work transition program in Canada, specifically tailored to autistic post-secondary students.
We spent 2 years consulting with over 27 autism professionals, experts, and self-advocates from organizations across the country, and have conducted a research study with 20 autistic adults to inform the design of our program. Most importantly, we worked with autistic students to hear firsthand what they need.
As an autistic person, I often feel isolated, navigating life without a support network that truly understands me. Sometimes all I need is a helping hand and genuine guidance.
Sapphire is designed to do just that. It consists of 3 key components: a community networking platform, career readiness training, and paid internships.
While 1 in 3 youth find their first job through mentorships, 70% of neurodivergent youth report lacking mentors.
We've addressed this by partnering with a community networking platform built by and for neurodivergent adults. ND Connect provides students with access to a large community of potential mentors who share their lived experience.
And we created a separate portal on the platform, connecting the students with 29 neuroinclusivity-trained allies from across the university to support them and build community.
I've had mentors before, but this is different. I got advice from somebody who's navigated their career while being neurodivergent. It's nice to be part of a community where everyone truly understands each other.
Autistic people face challenges gaining and keeping work, but with the right support can be up to 140% more productive than their neurotypical colleagues, with exceptional skills valued by employers.
In collaboration with autism organizations and co-created with autistic students, we've developed certificate-based career readiness training designed specifically to support the needs of the participants.
We're delivering the training on an interactive virtual platform through a partnership with Wavemakers, reducing the anxiety that the students have told us they often feel from in-person learning due to social pressures and sensory overload.
The skills training helped me to learn how to work with my autism instead of against it. That helped me feel confident that I can thrive at work rather than burning out.
We've also partnered with Needs to offer personalized one-on-one job coaching to further prepare the students for work.
Work experience increases the likelihood of employment 12-fold for autistic graduates, so we're working with Magnet and the Ontario Chamber of Commerce to connect Sapphire students with employers, and we'll be working directly with them to ensure the hiring process and work environment is neuro-inclusive.
Our progress is promising. We're in the process of placing 11 Sapphire interns for this upcoming summer who will collectively earn over $115,000. We raised $26,000 in funding, have 32 students currently enrolled, and based on current interests, expect to have a minimum of 55 Laurier students enrolled within a year.
But one school is not enough. So we've partnered with Casey to expand our program to other post-secondary institutions across Canada.
At scale, Sapphire has the potential to close the employment gap for nearly 100,000 autistic post-secondary students in Canada who could earn over $2.7 billion collectively in their first year of work alone and save the government over $1.2 million each over their lifetime through increased tax revenue and reduced disability support.
But true systemic change requires widespread awareness and understanding.
Through a partnership with Auticon, we're providing access to neuroinclusivity training for all students at Laurier, inspiring the next generation of inclusive workforce leaders.
But it isn't just about jobs. It's about people and making sure everyone has a solid foundation to build their lives.
But for far too many, that foundation is crumbling, literally. Over 3 million people across Canada lack adequate housing.
And we need to build almost 6 million more homes in Canada by 2030 just to restore affordability.
But at our current pace, we won't even reach half of that. Traditional construction is too slow, and we simply don't have the workforce. We need over 300,000 new workers on top of replacing over 250,000 retiring by 2030. We're not just short on time, we're short over 500,000 workers.
There's no question this is a huge, complex problem, and building more homes seems to be the answer. But we don't just have a housing crisis. We also have a climate crisis.
In 2023 alone, climate disasters displaced nearly 200,000 Canadians. Fire season is starting earlier, lasting longer, and is harder to contain, and over 1.5 million households are located in high-risk flood zones.
The economic cost of building in hazard zones could reach $3 billion annually, but the emotional toll is immeasurable. Those who lose their homes to disasters describe it like losing a loved one.
We can't afford to keep building for yesterday's climate. The bottom line is, a home you have to rebuild after a climate disaster is not an affordable home.
That's why we developed Caponia Innovations, an innovative approach to housing that's affordable, rapidly deployable, and doesn't rely on skilled labor in a way that is future-proof, not only withstanding current climate impacts, but using sustainable methods and materials to lessen future impacts.
Instead of traditional stick-built construction, we've partnered with ZS2 Technologies to use their proprietary tech panel system that is manufactured off-site to reduce on-site construction waste and rapidly assembles to create an energy-efficient building envelope that is highly fire, water, and wind resistant.
Our full solution features elevated foundations raising homes above flood lines, fire-retardant exterior coatings made from sustainable cork, 100% water-resistant and recyclable interior panels that are simple to install and won't mold, and renewable energy systems.
The entire home assembles in under a month, requiring skilled labor for only the mechanical and electrical systems.
We've brought together these cutting-edge materials to create what is essentially a house-in-a-box kit, with all materials consolidated and shipped from Edmonton. Our single-bedroom base model comes fully furnished through IKEA and starts at $138,000. The final price depends on soil conditions, available infrastructure, and transportation logistics.
Climate change doesn't discriminate, but our solution is designed to work anywhere, for anyone, in any form.
To establish our beachhead market, we're focused on where the need is greatest. Northern Indigenous communities who are on the front lines of both the housing and climate crises.
In Northern Canada, over 30% of Indigenous households don't even meet minimum housing standards, and nearly 9,000 additional homes are needed.
Meanwhile, the region is warming at 3 times the global rate, resulting in more frequent and severe climate impacts.
Building in Canada's north adds new layers of complexity to an already difficult problem.
But after visiting a remote community in the Northwest Territories, hearing firsthand about the impacts they're facing and their desire to have more control over their housing situation, our team was even more committed to working with them to create a solution that works.
Just as we had established our supply chain, devastating wildfires forced us to delay construction. We used this setback to strengthen our approach, partnering with ZS2 to lower costs and ensure scalability, and gaining input from 16 Indigenous youth to redesign our floor plan.
Though 2024 brought further challenges with skilled labor shortages delaying construction until November, we persevered.
It's been a huge learning curve, and we experienced firsthand the challenges of building in the north, but we're finally there. We're excited to say that our pilot home is nearing completion and will soon be moved to the Yellowknives Dene First Nation community.
We'll be selling direct to communities as well as through our partner contractor who can assist with assembly.
We're empowering communities to build and maintain their own homes. The impact of this is best described by Tate.
The peace it can give people to have a space that's theirs, the pride it can instill in people to help build their own home and to maintain their own home. This project is so much more than that, and that's a gift that a lot of people need right now.
To ensure the long-term sustainability of our approach, we're in stage 2 for $450,000 in funding from the National Research Council to develop a credentialed program with Aurora College that will train a minimum of 36 people over the next 3 years. And we've secured $45,000 from the Future Skills Center to work with human-centered design experts to design our training and assembly guide.
With Indigenous employment at just over 50% in the NWT, our approach creates vital opportunities. Our pilot alone created 6 net new jobs, half of which were filled by Indigenous workers.
And these new skills open doors for community members to build businesses around their housing needs. To support this, we've partnered with Prosper NWT, who is committed to investing up to $17 million for Indigenous entrepreneurs, with our team providing business planning and mentorship support.
The demand is clear. Prior to constructing our pilot home, we had already received 5 letters of interest from all 3 Indigenous groups to build 23 additional homes, housing over 34 people, and have had over 150 people visit our pilot home under construction. Our contractor projects that within the next 5 years, they could sell up to 24 Caponia kits through their client base alone.
Beyond the NWT, this year we've been approved for over $760,000 in funding with an Indigenous partner to build 2 transitional housing units for women at risk of homelessness in Northern Labrador, and are working with a supportive housing provider in Ontario to build 20 to 25 units.
At Enactus Laurier, we didn't just ask what if, we answered.
Through Caponia and Sapphire, we've addressed overlooked gaps and envisioned a future where housing is affordable and resilient and employment is truly inclusive.
We redefine the problems and reimagine solutions that restore livelihoods, giving everyone a solid foundation.
To live.
To work.
To thrive.
To have a future with infinite possibilities.
Because what if the problems we're currently overlooking hold the key to our most impactful innovations?
We will now begin the question and answer period. Judges, please raise your hand to indicate you have a question, and a microphone will be brought to you. When asking your question, please stand if you are able.
Hi, can you speak more to the revenue model for Sapphire?
Yes. So our focus at Sapphire is on the income that our students generate. Currently, with our strategic partnerships, we've been able to leverage existing technology and expertise to keep costs extremely minimal. Now, as we expand to other post-secondary institutions across Canada through our partnership with Casey, we plan to license the program to other universities to generate the revenue to keep the program self-sustaining.
Hi, great work. Question on Caponia. I was looking to see if you could speak to the cost within the supply chain and what you believe the impacts are going to be on the cost, knowing that these may have been developed last year as opposed to on a go-forward basis.
We've been working very closely with our suppliers to ensure that all of our materials are as economical as possible, and they understand our mission and vision to ensure we can build sustainable, affordable housing that is future-proof. Our pilot home came in under the affordability guidelines for the NWT, which is between $250,000 and $350,000. And even at the upper end of our price range, given the different conditions within communities and the variables between foundation options, mechanical systems, as well as transportation logistics, our home still falls beneath that at $230,000. So we've been working very closely with our suppliers and logistics experts to ensure we can deliver affordable housing.
Hi there, my question is for Caponia. I'm just wondering, are there any limitations or restrictions for where you can or cannot receive permits to build the homes?
Nope. All of our materials have been tested extensively and meet and exceed building codes nationally and internationally. They've been used to build larger units, smaller units, and if it works in the north with the most dire conditions, we can scale across Canada. So there's really no concerns in what type of home we build because all of our materials can be used to build anything.
Hi there. Question is relative to Caponia. You covered it a bit, but can you share what range may be available for types of units, square footage, smallest to largest, that sort of thing?
Our materials, specifically the structural insulated panels, can build a wide variety of homes. They actually built a cultural center in Nunavut that was like 1,600 square feet. We focused on one-bedroom units because that's a market need that was indicated to us by the government of the Northwest Territories. There's currently over 581 people in community housing alone who need bachelor-style units. But we also are in the negotiation stage of our first sale for a two-bedroom home with a Dene First Nation community member in Toledo, and are super excited because we want to support and ensure that this housing model works for communities across the country.
Is there an opportunity to leverage Sapphire to help address the issue of skilled labor for your other project, to combine the two together?
Absolutely. Sohan and I work very closely together and recognize that individuals with autism have potential to work in any type of force. So I'm developing a assembly guide and training guide with Aurora College, and individuals on the spectrum can also be part of that program and develop those skills because there's a huge need for green construction skills, and it's only a growing market.
Hi, in terms of your program for autistic employees, do you plan to spend any time creating educational pieces for the employers? It's not, I mean, they have to have the right environment for them, I've known that.
Yes. So with our pilot group of 11 Sapphire interns being placed this upcoming summer, we're working very closely with the employers that are hiring them to ensure, number one, the hiring process is extremely neuro-inclusive, and number two, the work environment is neuro-inclusive. So through our partnership with Audicon, we'll be offering neuro-inclusivity training to the interns' entire team to ensure they're entering a work environment in which they can thrive.
Hi, for Sapphire again. How innovative is the program? Are there other programs doing the same thing? And have you considered going earlier in the stream to high school students?
Yeah, so for the first part of your question, we've looked at post-secondary institutions across the country, and no comprehensive work transition program exists for post-secondary autistic students. Sapphire is the first one. With high school students, we have considered expanding and have plans to expand into the high school environment. We have conversations with the Waterloo Catholic District School Board to provide support to autistic students who may not have the opportunity to transition into post-secondary.
Time has expired. Judges and guests, please help me in thanking the team from Wilfrid Laurier University. We've now wrapped up all 4 finalist presentations, and in just a few moments, we'll move into the final awards ceremony. Before we do, let's take a moment to thank our incredible finalist teams and our generous final round sponsor, Canadian Tire Corporation. Judges and guests, please take the next few minutes to complete your evaluations. Finalize your yellow cumulative evaluation forms now. If you have any questions, raise your hand and a team member will assist you. Once you've finished, raise your hand again so we can collect your green and yellow sheets. We'll now take a short break and return at 4 p.m. for the awards ceremony.
And now that it's over, I'll never be sober. I couldn't believe, but now I'm so high. And now that it's over, I'll never be sober. I couldn't believe, but now I'm so high. But now I'm so high. But now I'm so high. What's your problem? 'Cause I know it's hard sometimes. Baby, just give it some time. Oh, honey, now, girl, we can solve them. If you just give me some time, I can open up your mind. If you let it shine, you can free your mind. 'Cause I know. I'm so high, but now I'm so high, but now I'm so high, but now I'm so high. Girl, if it's done right, well, you know it's got to be something wonderful to me. Oh, honey, now, girl, give it one night. If you just give it a chance, loving you is not my plan. 'Cause I know one day you'll see all the things that we can be. Oh, no, no, no. And now that it's over, I'll never be so. I wanna be the only one. Oh, now I'm so high. And now that it's over, I'll never be so. But now I'm so
Yeah.
We get it almost every night. When that moon is big and bright, it's a supernatural delight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep their loose to keep it tight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. We like our fun and we never fight. You can dance and stay uptight. It's a supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin the ceremony in a few moments. Please take your seat.
We get it almost every night. And when that moon is big and bright, it's a supernatural delight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. I'm doing this tonight. You're probably gonna start a fight. I know this can't be right. Hey, baby, come on. I loved you endlessly, and you weren't there for me. So now it's time to leave and make it alone. I know that I can't take no more. It ain't no lie. I wanna see you out that door, baby. Bye, bye, bye. Don't wanna be a fool for you.
Students, faculty, alumni, and guests, welcome to the 2025 Enactus Canada National Exposition Awards Ceremony. Please welcome back to the stage Catherine Fowler, President and CEO of Enactus Canada.
Yes, please. Won't you come and put it down on me?
afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us at the 2025 Enactus Canada National Exposition. Hearing about the projects and positive impact from our 4 national finalist teams has been incredibly inspiring. Each team is creating real change in their communities and around the world. This year, over 2,200 Enactus Canada students across 76 campuses launched more than 160 projects tackling the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Whether you're driving climate solutions or building more inclusive communities, your work is real, measurable, and lasting. As we celebrate the excitement of the Final Four, let's remember that your Enactus journey doesn't end with competition. We hope you carry forward the values, experiences, and skills that you've gained here as you continue to lead and create impact in the world as Enactus alumni. Today, we're excited to welcome one of those aspiring alumni back to the Enactus stage. Andrew Chow, CEO and co-founder of Neo Financial, co-founder of Skip the Dishes, and a proud University of Saskatchewan alumnus from the days of ACE and SIFE. Leading today's conversation is Nicole Almond, Chief of Staff for XPV Water Partners, Enactus alumna, and former Enactus Canada CEO. In fact, I have it on good authority that Nicole served as Andrew's Enactus Canada program manager during his time as a student. Welcome, Andrew and Nicole.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us, Andrew. It's been a few years.
It has been a few years.
Thanks
for having me.
When you look back at your time with Enactus and think of the time that you were sitting in the chairs like all of the students out there, what do you think that did to help and shape your mindset as you kind of moved into being an entrepreneur and leader?
Yeah, I mean, for context, I was probably on a similar stage. It was in Toronto back in 2008, so it was a very, very long time ago. And I realized how much little I knew at the time, but I felt like I knew a lot when you're up on that stage. And I think, being on that stage, presenting in front of everyone, obviously putting a ton of time and effort behind that, spending literally sleepless nights preparing for those presentations, obviously all of the work that came with it with all the projects that we did, is literally what entrepreneurship and building a company ended up being. Where you think you know everything, you don't really know everything, but you just try your best. And I think my experience with Enactus, for example, was a lot of hard work, a lot of fun at the same time, and that's really what I've experienced so far as well.
That's great. It's almost like we have a plan to build entrepreneurs. So as they mentioned in your intro, you've now founded 2 game-changing companies, Skip the Dishes and Neo Financial. What inspired you to tackle those industries? How did you know it was the right thing and the right time?
Yeah, I grew up in Saskatchewan, so I grew up literally in no hills, no mountains, not really known as a tech ecosystem by any means. But I had always had a bug for building something and wanting to sort of create something that could add value to Canadians. And even though I didn't know what I wanted to do after I graduated, ended up sort of working, traveling quite a bit, and seeing all these companies being built outside of Canada, especially being outside of Western Canada. So whether it was Uber, whether it was food delivery companies in other countries, but all these trends were happening, but everyone just skipped over Canada as a country. And you're starting to see a lot more themes, and I saw this obviously 10, 15 years ago, just around brain drain, and Canada is really good at resource extraction, but not really good at building and innovating. So that's always stuck at the back of my mind. And when we started our first company with Skip the Dishes, that was really the main sort of core driver or genesis of why we built it, was to bring something that was innovative to Canada. Because if you look at your phone today, your top 5 apps that you use are probably American or some are international. They're not Canadian. So when we built Skip, we wanted to be sort of born in Canada for Canadians. Obviously built it to the #1 food delivery app here in Canada, beating our American counterparts, Uber Eats and DoorDash at the time. And
not that you're proud of that.
There's a lot of other context behind that, but It's something that obviously stands true with our new company with Neo Financial as well.
Yeah. I mean, entrepreneurship, and you said, like, your experience with Enactus gave you kind of the similar experience in some of the things, and a lot of the students here are dealing with challenges, and I'm sure you've been through many. Entrepreneurship is a roller coaster and can be a roller coaster. What are some of the challenges you've faced, and how have you overcome them?
Yeah, I mean, there's how much time do we have?
5 minutes?
When I think about challenges, in building, I think there's been, at least, let's say 3, right? I think the first has really been around balance. As a new grad, for example, and without kids or family, you can just work as much as you humanly possibly can. So a lot of late nights, all-nighters, spent a lot of those during our first company with Skip the Dishes. And to be honest, it was just like a lot of hard work and trying to figure out, because we had no idea what we were doing when we were building Skip, to be honest. It was our very first company, had never raised money before, had never hired people before, and to be honest, it was more just a learn-as-you-go experience. So the thing that we took away from that was just, the grit, determination, and the will to figure out how to make something work, and not really giving up, because there were probably at least 4 instances where we were literally 2 weeks away from going bankrupt, but we figured out a way to get through it and persevered. I think the second thing, relating to that balance piece has really been around, in our second company, we've sort of progressed in our life stage, and we're a lot older. We actually have families now. We have kids. We have other responsibilities outside of just managing a company. And I've really had to manage my time and balance that between, work and life, but more integrate the two together.
Yeah, that's fair. And for Enactus students in the audience who are embarking on or soon to embark on their career paths or their business ventures, what piece of advice would you give them? What do you wish you knew when you were down there?
I think when I think about like the experiences that I've had and the learnings, 2 things. One, if you're ever thinking about doing entrepreneurship or I spent a lot of time thinking about it, probably not enough time doing it. And I think action is the best thing you can take, whether it's dipping your toes in, jumping 2 feet in. I think just getting started is probably the hardest part for most folks to see if you even like it. Because sometimes it's not for everyone. Sometimes people can do it on their own. Sometimes you need others to work with. In my case, I had 5 or 4 other co-founders when we started Skip. With Neo, we had 3 other co-founders. So, much more of a team sort of esque player, because I have strengths, they have strengths. So I think just jumping in is probably the most important part. Just start doing something, start learning, start meeting people in areas that you're interested in. And I think the learning piece is really, really important on that front too.
Yeah, that's totally fair. We're going to open it up to questions from the audience. I think that there are microphones. That light is very bright. And if you guys can line up behind the microphones, but while you do that, I'm going to ask the question that I'm going to ask another question that wasn't on the list, so you're not prepared.
Okay.
Because the students always ask me, what project did you run when you were in Enactus?
Oh man, I ran a couple different projects.
What was your favorite? Like
my favorite one, one of them is one of my first projects that I ran. It was related to entrepreneurship. We actually built or helped sort of youth build a t-shirt business.
Yep.
Very standard. I'm sure many of you have helped on that too, but it was fun. The kids loved it. It was our first foray into building company. That was probably one of my favorite ones for sure. Yeah.
That's a good one. I always tell them I'm too embarrassed to talk about the projects that I ran that long ago, because they're nothing like what they are running today.
Yeah.
So maybe let's start with the first person in line over on that side.
Hi, hello. My name is Labib Rahman. I'm from St. Mary's University. And my question to you is, when do you know when to stop or that you have to change things up in life or business in general?
When do you need to know when to stop? I think you'll generally, it depends on the definition of stop. You can stop and just stop doing entrepreneurship completely, or stop and pivot and figure out what else to do or how to make things work. And I think if you're selling stuff or you're selling to the market, it's something called product market fit. if people aren't asking for your product or they're not adopting it, you're not able to sell it, it's so difficult, then you got to figure out and pivot and figure out ways to do it. And I mean, for us, when we were, started our first business selling to restaurants, we were selling this concept of food delivery where it didn't exist. So, the number of times I got kicked out of restaurants because they're like, no, I don't, and their company name was Skip the Dishes, right? We'd walk into a restaurant and they're like, no. We don't want any dishes. We have enough dishes. And I'm like, no, I'm actually selling delivery. So, we had to fix that, tweak the way we pitched to restaurants many, many times over. But I think you generally know, whether you need to pivot or, change the idea completely.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Go over to that side.
Hi, my name is Scott Rito from Lambton College, and I was wondering, when building the app of Skip the Dishes, what are some challenges and insights you went through and learned?
Well, building the app. I mean, building the app itself is actually the easiest part of building a business. The hardest part is actually everything that you don't see. So behind the scenes, when we were building Skip, it's we operated a three-sided marketplace. So there were customers we had to deal with, there were restaurants we had to deal with, and then we had couriers to deal with. So the core and what we spent almost all of our time on at Skip was actually the operations of how to make those three things work together. So how do we get restaurants to communicate to couriers? How do we hire couriers? How do we do it remotely? And then the last piece of it was, building the app so that it all just worked together. So sometimes people forget that, the way pushing a button and it just works. That's like that's actually the easy part, but it's actually to make that actually happen is all the hard work that goes behind that too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Over here.
Hi, Andrew. I'm Daniel from University of Regina, Saskatchewan. I'm really glad to meet you here today. I know that Cultivator and Collabs came after you went through, and I've been a part of that program, so I really appreciate the opportunity for giving us something like that in Saskatchewan. So I feel like this is going to be a real chance I get to see you, and I'm going to ask you, I'm about to start a residency program in Saskatchewan. Would you like to invest? I'm trying to build a program where we get to build things over the summer. Would you like to invest?
I forgot to say the other thing that my other word of advice is you don't get what you don't ask for, yeah. Which is really, really true. But yeah, come talk to me after. That's great.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Let's meet after.
Thanks. Add me on LinkedIn. Yeah, easiest way.
Over on this side.
Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm Sean from St. Clair College. I have one particular question from somebody who's in business. You first started out in food delivery and ended up in financial services. Totally polar opposite businesses. I just wanted to ask and know what drew inspiration and what drew innovation in ensuring that both investments and both ideas that you were invested in kind of made it fruitful, and also that how did you gain knowledge on growing abilities to run those two different business ideas?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and as different as food delivery and financial services seem, they're actually very similar in many, many ways. Obviously, very different industries, but at the end of the day, they both serve consumers, and consumers behave very similarly. So what do they actually value? We focused a lot on convenience, time, trust, security. All those elements sort of come into building what a consumer app or a consumer business should look like. So we took a lot of those elements, and that's sort of how those first principles in terms of how we thought about building a Neo Financial, really a challenger bank from scratch. Being not from the industry, what that actually enabled us to do was, again, go back to what actually adds value to consumers. How do we actually change the experience such that we're not constrained by what already exists, but what do we actually need to solve for? And that's really how we've approached building any one of our businesses, but for Neo, for example. And that's really what's helped us sort of grow and scale. In terms of subject matter expertise, I spent a ton of time reading, talking to people in the industry, learning the ins and the outs of how to manage cards, how to build a sort of banking system, These are obviously things that we hadn't done before, but I literally interviewed 35 people from banks, and there's probably a bunch of people from banks in the judges today. But none of them also, even though they had worked in a bank, none of them had actually started a bank before. So you sort of have to, a big part of entrepreneurship or building a business is you're never going to know everything in the world, but you have to be the one that can piece together whether it's the right people, the right resources, the right information, and put it all together into like one cohesive plan.
Thank you very much for that. And just one last question. I would just want to know, as a successful innovator, and all of us here at Enactus would want to aspire to be that, also not only in our projects that we develop, but businesses that we might want to one day run. I just want to know what has been the most valuable place of learning new information that you've come across as very reliable and as very efficient as a person who's in, in finance. Finance changes every single day. So what's been the most stable form of learning or location of learning?
Yeah, I mean, AI and ChatGPT did not exist when we started these businesses. So, but nowadays, I mean, you can literally ask something like ChatGPT any question you want, and it produces pretty darn good answers. Yep. So that's probably a very easy starting place, because it can literally collate any book, any resource from the internet, and put it in a good summary for you. But that's always a good starting place. Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, going to go to the next, and we are going to limit to one question per person. I know you snuck that second one in there. What do we got over there?
Hi, Andrew. I'm Ashish. I'm from St. Mary's University. I'm a co-founder of a tech-driven startup called Access Structure. And one of the things I found really insightful in what you mentioned today was actually the little aside you made about DoorDash. And I think that's one of the gray areas that we've been tussling with in the early stages is how do we go from developing the perspective of viewing a competitor as a potential collaborator? How can we foster those partnerships in people already in that same industry?
Yeah, I think competitors, you can either see competitors as like, there's a closed mindset, open mindset, right? Or open market. And the way that we viewed competitors was actually a good thing, especially in the markets we were in, because what we're, especially fit like someone like a DoorDash, because the more marketing they did, the faster we grew as well. Because what we were competing with was typically very legacy experiences. We were actually competing with paper menus at the time, or people calling in to the restaurant to go and pick up. So we're actually creating a market when it came to delivery. And every time our competitors at the time would do a huge TV campaign, we actually saw our volumes and order volumes go up just as much as theirs did. Sometimes it went up even more because we were better at the time. And same goes with Neo, where for Neo, our main, I'd say, competition per se is not necessarily the fintechs that are more digitally native, but it's actually more the traditional banks that 95% of the market and Canadians use a traditional bank today that is not, that literally they have to go into physical branches for half the things that they have to do. So we really see true competition as a way to lift the overall market that we're growing in, especially in the digital side.
Okay. Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much.
Okay, over that side.
Hello, I'm Sidra from Toronto Metropolitan University. First of all, thank you for coming here, Andrew, to share your experiences with us today. And my question is that if you have a business venture idea that you're hesitant about launching because you're unsure of how to stand out from your market competitors, what advice would you have to maintain your uniqueness and promote your business?
I think you can always plan as much as you want in terms of I think this is going to work, I think this is going to be differentiated, and you might survey people before you start something, but until you actually try to get it up and running and put it out in market, whether you can do it in a lightweight way, you just got to test it in market and see if people react to it. And if you can get people saying, hey, that's actually really amazing, how much do I pay you? Or how do I sign up? That's when you sort of know you have something different. And even though the differentiation piece is important, but there's many different ways to differentiate. It doesn't have to be just on everything. It can be on one tiny little thing like customer service. It could be one thing like branding. It could be one thing like you're in a niche market or in a smaller market versus everyone else. Sometimes we underestimate, that we overestimate how much competition really is like watching you or focused on that certain area. But that's the advantage of being small and nimble, is like you can literally do things that they can't do. So I would focus on that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I think we have time for a few more. What have we got over here?
Hi, Andrew. My name is Sridhar from University of Regina. I was curious if there was a project that's been running on your mind that you just haven't gotten to yet, and if there is,
can you have it?
Yeah. Can you tell us? But what was the problem identification process for that?
Let's see. I have a lot of ideas. They're all generally, my brain is like almost primarily focused on Neo these days. So they're all related to financial services and how do we improve that. But there's industries as a whole that I'd say could use a lot of entrepreneurship and some, I'd say, builder mentality, whether it's healthcare here in Canada, whether it's housing, there are a lot of different elements, but no, I don't have any specific ones because I can't think of it right now.
But good try.
I think you just don't want to give any away. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I think we can probably do 2 more. So one more from there and one from there.
Hello, my name is Veer from SAIT, Calgary. I have a question for you. How would you make a positive impact on the company instantly so the company does not go downhill?
Make a positive impact. I think with any company, the biggest thing that you can do, and not necessarily like me as one of the founders, but as a company as a whole, the best thing that you can do is, one, make sure you have the right people on board that believe in what you do, believe in the mission, believe in what you're driving towards, and will literally, and is there for the right reasons. But if you have the right people, first and foremost, then the second thing, and the best thing you can do is make sure that you're winning, right? It's true. I mean, if you ever feel like you're not winning, then that's where it's like, well, people start to look elsewhere, or you don't get that true rapport. But the more you can win, and winning can take various different ways, whether it's like, hey, our sales went up, or we got this new customer, or hey, we're able to build this new feature, and it could be the smallest little thing, but you can celebrate those wins. I think that's really where you can band together as a team and celebrate those things. So I think that's probably the one thing, and it's very vague, but also sort of pointed from that standpoint.
Okay, because everybody wants to know the results. We'll do one more question. Go ahead.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Tanner Bergsma. I am a student at Laurier University, and I'm an international award-winning author and activist. My main question for you is, you built companies that have reshaped industries and reached millions, but on your personal journey as a founder and leader, what has been the most uncomfortable lesson that forced you to grow, not as an entrepreneur, but as a human being?
I think more recently, the biggest change for me was having kids, and that, again, that balance between, running a company and having kids and balancing the time and effort between the two have probably been the biggest impact. I mean, it's extremely difficult for for all of us that have kids. It is difficult in terms of that balance, in terms of how much time you want to spend on your company. So then what I had to really sort of look at was time management, in terms of what do I spend my time on, and how do I ensure that I can either multiply that, or can I delegate? And obviously, learning from kids is huge, because you get pushed to your limits most of the time, and they're generally not rational thinkers, because very irrational in terms of behaviors. You can't logically try to explain something to them. Sometimes you have to go with the flow, and I'd probably say that's the biggest change that I've had to experience.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, thanks so much for being here. I think it's so special when we can have alumni come back and share their story and how Enactus played a part in that. So thank you so much for being here, and thanks for joining us. Everyone join me in thanking Andrew.
Thank you. Okay, thanks so much. All right, guys, thanks.
The tech guys will be mad.
Okay, so how awesome was that? Thank you, Andrew and Nicole, for that inspiring conversation. I'm now excited to announce the 2025 Student Leader of the Year, proudly presented by the John Dobson Foundation. Behind every successful Enactus team stands a leader who not only sets a bold vision, but inspires others to believe in it. A leader who lifts others up, builds with purpose, and turns challenges into opportunities. We are lucky today and over the past few days to have a couple of former Student Leaders of the Year with us. And I don't know whether how many of them are behind stage or in front of the stage, but maybe I could ask if any of you are out there to stand up. Look at that, there's one. Do we have any others? Anyway, it's great to have the Student Leaders of the Year back with us, and thank you for what you've done in the past and for what you continue to do now. So, to recognize this incredible leadership, this year's Student Leader of the Year will receive a $5,000 bursary. This year's recipient, and you'll get to start to narrow it down shortly, has truly led with heart and impact. That doesn't narrow it down much, does it? In just 1 year, she launched 3 new projects, welcomed 3 new advisors, grew her team more than tenfold, secured provincial media coverage, and built a strong succession plan to ensure her team continues to thrive after her graduation. Please join me in celebrating the 2025 Student Leader of the Year, Abigail Austin from Mount Allison University. Students are the heart of all of our work, but the John Dobson Foundation recognizes that the success of Enactus Canada and Enactus teams across the country is often due to the exceptional guidance and leadership of the dedicated faculty advisors. These individuals work tirelessly, volunteering their time to help elevate Enactus programs at academic institutions nationwide. Established in 2003, the John Dobson Enactus Fellowship celebrates the invaluable contributions made by faculty advisors as they teach, mentor, and coach students involved in the Enactus programs. Tonight, we are thrilled to welcome the latest inductees into this esteemed fellowship. These individuals join over 300 faculty advisors who have been honored since the fellowship's inception. Whilst they received their certificates earlier this week, we now take a moment to recognize their dedication to Enactus. Students and distinguished guests, please join me in applauding our newest inductees into the John Dobson Enactus Fellowship. I think we're going to read all of their names now, and we'll see if I can do this properly. Leigh Bortelin, University of Calgary. Rose Campbell, SAIT. Michelle Doucette, Nova Scotia Community College E-Campus. Samia Ibrahim, SAIT. Joshua Glue, Saskatchewan Polytechnic. Jenna Goose, Cambrian College. Rami Haddad, SAIT. Karen Hendra, Lambton College. Dean Howley, Loyalist College. Kristen Lawrence, Acadia University. Devin Light, University of Calgary. John Miley, College of the North Atlantic, Corner Brook. Eric Nelson, University of Ottawa. Michael Party, Camosun College. Tim Oxer, College of the North Atlantic, Corner Brook. Robert Ryan, Okanagan College. Sanup Sadike, SAIT. Sandeep Sandhu, Saskatchewan Polytechnic, and Denise Toker, Northeastern University, Toronto. So we understand that being a faculty advisor demands significant dedication and passion, and we really appreciate the work that they all do, and we also really appreciate the support that deans and faculty administration provide to many of these faculty advisors. We also recognize the Rookie Faculty Advisor of the Year, and that honors those who have gone above and beyond in their first year to make a real impact on their team. The nomination for the 2025 Rookie Faculty Advisor of the Year highlights the journey of a team that started late in the year, really late, like in November, with just one experienced Enactus member and 2 new students. Despite the challenges, the team credits their incredible growth and success to the constant encouragement and support of their faculty advisor, who is also new to the Enactus program. Under their guidance, the team grew to 12 highly engaged members and went on to win first place in the Innovation and Impact Challenge at the Regional Exposition. Please join me in welcoming the 2025 Rookie Faculty Advisor of the Year, Dean Howley, Faculty Advisor at Loyalist College. Okay, we're almost done here. Since 2003, the John Dobson Foundation has proudly recognized faculty who have made an outstanding contribution as teachers, mentors, and coaches through the John Dobson Enactus Fellow of the Year Award. I am pleased to note that this year's recipient is an Enactus alumna and has been a faculty advisor for more than 3 years. As a business design specialist, she has been instrumental in ensuring that the fundamentals of the businesses are solid and that as they improve, they are doing so in a sustainable way. Her team tells us that she is the Enactus role model that every team deserves. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? Touching. Whose passion, resilience, and competitive spirit ignites the team and encourages them to do better every single day. Demonstrating an unwavering commitment to advancing entrepreneurial learning in both her work and with her personal time, she helped bring the team representing Canada to the Enactus World Cup in Astana, Kazakhstan this past October. I'm very happy to welcome the 2025 John Dobson Enactus Fellow of the Year, Meredith Drost from St. Mary's University.
I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like Texas from my exes when they want a second chance. I like Putin, wrong. I do what they say I can. They call me Cardi, Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than a Somali. Bird, Ferrari, hop up the stoop, jump in the coop. Big dip on top of the roof, flexing no boots as hard as I can. Eating halal, chopping the lamb, so that I'm sorry though.
Please welcome back to the stage our President and CEO, Catherine Fowler.
I now have the distinct pleasure to recognize someone who's gone above and beyond to champion Enactus within their company, in their community, and especially over the past year. Our 2025 Champion of Enactus Canada is not only an alumnus and former president of his Enactus team, but is also a longtime supporter who has dedicated 15 years as a director on the Enactus Canada board. He has judged countless competitions and continues to champion Enactus across the country, with a special focus on his current home province of Alberta. It is my great pleasure to welcome to the stage our 2025 Champion of Enactus, Avik Day. reveal the final results and name our 2025 Enactus Canada National Champion, who will go on to represent Canada at the Enactus World Cup in Bangkok, I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible partners who make all of this possible, many of whom are with us tonight. Thanks to the generous support of our transformational partners, Enactus Canada is able to bring together students from across the country to celebrate their achievements and impact. These partners don't just fund our programs, they help bring them to life. Through their financial support and volunteer engagement, they power initiatives like the Mental Wellness Zone, the Circle, our Impact Challenges. Their investment fuels real solutions in environmental sustainability, youth empowerment, and Indigenous inclusion through entrepreneurship and social innovation. Their commitment directly supports our teams, allowing us to host regional and national competitions, leadership summits, special programs, and project accelerators. They provide essential funding that helps students launch and run their community empowerment projects and business ventures. To all our corporate and foundation partners, thank you. None of this would be possible without you. We are also incredibly grateful for our growing community of individual donors who provide critical support for Enactus Canada's operations. Our Friends of Enactus donors, who contribute up to $1,000 each year, provide vital ongoing support to help advance our mission. Those who give $1,000 or more annually become members of the Enactus Canada Maple Leaf Club, recognized by their silver Maple Leaf Club pin. Tonight, we're proud to welcome the newest members to the Maple Leaf Club who are here with us tonight: Jacob Arcus, Heather Brown, Michael Williams, and Owen Taylor. Please join us on the stage to receive your pin. To all our donors and sponsors, we're deeply grateful. At the heart of every great organization are leaders who believe in its mission and its work tirelessly to bring it to life. The growth, strength, and global reputation of Enactus Canada would not be possible without the leadership and vision of our board of directors. Your mentorship, advocacy, and unwavering support challenge us in the national office to aim higher and ensure our program continues to be one of the best in the world. Please join me in thanking our dedicated board members. Ian Aiken, Rob Patterson, Anik Charbonneau, Julie Denton, Avik Day, Jerry Frascione, Franco Gucciardi, Ian Hanning, Rob Henderson, Jamie Mackay, Jim Marsh, Susan O'Brien, Maya Pearson, and Nuha Siddiqui. On behalf of the entire Enactus Canada committee, thank you for sharing your time, your wisdom, and your leadership. Of course, none of this would be possible without the passionate, driven, and deeply dedicated Enactus Canada National Office team. This extraordinary group of people who I have the opportunity to work with every day work behind the scenes to support students, teams, partners, and one another with professionalism, heart, and purpose. To Brittany, Cody, Hanif, Julianne, Jenna, Tyler, McKenna, Harry, Abir, Eric, Maddie, Sohaib, and Thierry, thank you for everything you do. You are the backbone of this movement, and I'm so grateful to be able to work with you every single day. want to thank the Sauvé Foundation for funding our Enactus Staff Global Exchange. Their support made it possible this year to host Amy Breton, country leader of Enactus UK and Ireland, and Michael Ajayi, country leader for Enactus Nigeria this week. They worked closely with our team and students, shared best practices, and deepened our understanding of Enactus's global impact. Amy and Michael, we're so grateful for your hard work and for joining us. Thank you. Now, as we prepare to announce the 2025 Enactus Canada National Champions, let's look ahead at what's to come. In just a few months, one team will earn the honor of representing Canada at the Enactus World Cup in Bangkok, Thailand. And while only one team will take the stage to compete, the Enactus World Cup is a celebration for our entire community. We invite students, alumni, faculty, and partners to join Team Canada in Bangkok and experience the energy and impact of this truly global movement. We're also excited to look toward next year because we're officially announcing that the 2026 Enactus Canada Exposition is taking place in Montreal. We can't wait to gather again to share bold ideas, inspire action, and celebrate the power of entrepreneurial leadership across Canada. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, to announce the 2025 Enactus Canada National Champion, proudly presented by Canadian Tire Corporation, please welcome to the stage Scott Morris, Vice President, Retail Operations at SportCheck.
Today, it's my honor to announce the 2025 Enactus Canada National Champion on behalf of Canadian Tire Corporation. At CTC, we're committed to strengthening our communities and advancing environmental sustainability coast to coast. As our brand purpose states, we are here to make life in Canada better. As leaders of tomorrow, Enactus students play a crucial role in driving meaningful change in our communities, for Canadians today and for generations to come. As demonstrated by the innovative approaches and creative solutions we've seen on display over the last few days, this generation of future leaders is nothing short of inspiring. As you all go on to pursue your roles as leaders across Canada, we look forward to watching your journey as you grow sustainable enterprises, build stronger communities, and create a world with greater opportunity for all. Thank you for your commitment to making life in Canada better, for communities today and for generations tomorrow. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the unveiling of the Enactus Canada National Champion. In addition to taking home the prestigious Enactus Cup, tonight's winner will go on to represent Canada at the Enactus World Cup in Bangkok, Thailand this fall. To recap, in the order they presented, the 4 finalist Enactus teams are University of Ottawa, UBC, University of British Columbia, St. Mary's University, Wilfrid Laurier University, and here we go with the runner-up. The Enactus Canada National runner-up is Wilfrid Laurier University.
Something to run it is, stranger kisses. Ain't ever wanna be
And now, our national champion. Drum roll, please. The Enactus Canada national champion is St. Mary's University.
Taken my bows and my curtain calls. You brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all, but it's been no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. I consider it a challenge before the whole human race, and I ain't gonna lose.
Congratulations to the Enactus National Champion. Please remain on stage for final photographs. Team leaders, please find your program manager to get your green sheets at the rear of the room. Thank you to all the Enactus Canada partners and donors for their support of the 2025 Enactus Canada National Exposition. Thank you to our final round judges, faculty and administrators, participating student entrepreneurs, Enactus teams, and to all of our volunteers. The party's not over yet. Keep your name tags on and join us at the Palace Theatre, 219 8th Avenue Southwest, for our Enactus exclusive after party with guest DJ, our very own Thierry Metus. The party starts at 10 p.m. 18 plus ID and Enactus name badges will be required to enter. We hope to see you in Bangkok for the Enactus World Cup and in Montreal next year for the 2026 Enactus Canada National Exposition. Good night, bonsoir et merci.
Return to the Mac, get on what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up, first shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Bad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT. This hustling, chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back question. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country.
Can we go back? This is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Can we go back? This is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Nah, can I kick it, thank you. Yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me. Go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on shark week. Raw, time to go off, gone. Deuces goodbye. I got a world to see. And my girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer. Nah, I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people. Now sing this song and it goes like, raise those hands, this is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. Learn from that failure, gain humility, and then we keep marching.
Can we go back? This is